You are now listening to 2026 Cast.
Yo, what's good, you all? It's Dom D of 2026, and I'm here to bring you the 2026 podcast. Actually, the 2026 cast. Me and Frankie got the pleasure of talking to two of our longtime homies, Taylor and Chris of Angel Us Radio. They got a new radio show from 4 to 5 p.m. on WXOX in Louisville, Kentucky.
There's an app you can download, and it's very, they have other good shows, but we got to put our homies on first. So check them out.
Hashtag the vibes. But really excited about this conversation we had with these two. It was almost kind of just like going down memory lane and talking about how we first met each other and what inspires us and what inspired them to actually make the radio station. So you are now tuned in to the first episode of the 2026 cast. Bow! So
Out here.
What were we just talking about? We were talking before shit.
Everything. And Taylor is originally from Anti-Public, and how did y'all two meet? Because Angel Us is a pretty new thing for y'all.
Is it, or is it new? Has it always been like in the...
It's been in the works for a minute. It's been a thought. Like,
Yeah, I kind of had the idea to kind of do like a radio show for a while, and just kind of asking around, to see how I could kind of make it happen. And I knew I kind of wanted to have somebody that I wanted to rock with on the show and shit. Who better to do it with than the fam, man. So that's how we kind of like came up with it. So,
You know what I was thinking about earlier? I met both of you niggas at the same point in my life.
type
But
shit.
y'all didn't know each other. So I came to U of L and I met Chris basically through Franco, just being niggas of swag.
just, yeah.
There was like six
out
niggas
there.
on campus who rock streetwear, and it was like me. it was 100%, bro. So you would like be able to pick out.
It was way more. It was like
It was way more like niggas. Like it was like to a
there
point.
was no
Now,
like golf wang.
no,
influence.
none of that
Nah,
shit,
nah,
bro.
nah,
Like
nah.
it was like
Yeah.
it's 2012, 2013 on U of L's campus, and Chris was one of those guys.
2011.
And so I guess you met him freshman year.
Yeah,
So then, and Taylor, I met through Frank. I guess just do music shit.
we
But,
just
like,
was living
When we
across
first
from us.
met that night that
U of L won.
yeah, the championship.
Yeah, bro.
We
I
just
think we
met,
had.
ran. I
Oh.
seen you running on the street.
Man,
Like,
I was
Wait, did I meet you before then?
You definitely.
Yeah.
I think because y'all went to like a game or some shit. Or did we
nah,
go
the
to
very first time I met Francis, bro. Well, I met him like just kind of on the street. I used to see you like
Yeah.
walking around and shit. This is like you used to have long hair and shit.
Yeah,
So like I see him like walking around and like he was the only dude I ever seen with like any type of like just swag and shit.
Tight.
Yeah.
Bro,
I was just
different,
like,
bro.
who is
Yo,
this dude?
give it up.
And I just kind of walked up to him one day and then like I think we like kicked it like the very next day and like we went like thrifting somewhere. Like
yeah.
I don't remember what the spot was. But that's kind of like where that
I
kind
mean,
of started.
probably a spot that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, I don't think it does. Like I feel like it was like in the cut, like on Barstown Road or something.
Yeah. Oh, I think it was maybe that one spot where we found that jersey that you got, Dominic, the hockey jersey.
Man, I can't remember where it was though.
It was behind. It was where like.
Oh, you talking about over by the ice cream spot on
Yeah,
Taylorsville Road? I know exactly what
yeah,
you're talking about now.
yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I had to like rethink.
I don't think that's there.
That's crazy. The amount of friendships you have, especially in a city like this. And I know Taylor's, I guess technically a transplant of Louisville, but 'cause you're-
Transplant.
Transplant. That's what I meant. Yeah, y'all know the vibes.
Louisville,
What I said?
Horse
I
Cave,
think you said
HG, baby.
transparent.
No, I said
AC.
transplant. I said
Oh.
transplant. I ain't
Transparent.
Like you said, hold on there.
What's y'all 270? Is that what you got?
Yeah,
270.
So Taylor, you're originally from Horse Cave,
Yep.
Kentucky. Shout out to Horse Cave, West Kentucky.
Shout out.
Nigga went to WKU for a year. But,
flunked out that bitch.
Hey, type shit.
Ooh.
But so it's the amount of friends that you meet here in Louisville with it. Back in like 2011, 12, and 13, like streetwear so big now you can go get a Stussy shirt from Zoomies and shit. But back in the day when you had to like really, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
look for shit, like it was like almost incredible to find people who was into the same
Also,
shit you
the
was
fact
into.
that at the time we didn't have a central store. I mean,
Nah.
Established just started at that point, and they didn't really become that central
Established.
space. But I met a few
Yes.
dudes over there. But
That's
like
where
they
I met
were
this nigga.
attempting to
Mhm.
become that
Damn, that's
space,
wild.
but they were kind of location wise. It was such a, it was downtown, and our downtown hadn't been like the new Lou development didn't like
Nah.
super happen yet.
Nah.
Like it had a thing, but like they didn't choose that space, which they could have, but they just didn't.
No.
They just chose.
Nobody
the
knew at that point, though.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
we were already down kicking it there in Nulu.
Well, I
before we
guess
go
when
to
you
the
go
gallery.
to the
So,
gallery
like,
hops every Friday.
so like
yeah.
there was definitely like already like an inclination of it, but if you
Yeah.
weren't like in the know of that like rise of whatever is going on like everywhere else, then you would have just they made their own choice. But I mean, it was like either there or go to Bardstown Road, and I guess they just didn't like, and nobody.
And I thought it was probably too expensive at Bardstown Road at the time because it was already
Yeah,
kind of
well, that's
spot.
what they because like you know they were trying to get their accounts,
Yeah.
so like paying money because like that whole model is like you buy all these clothes and sell them, and you're buying clothes for $15 to $20, and you're getting full size runs if not more. So you're buying like I don't know $2,000, $5,000 orders from a company every 3 months. So you're spending just from one company like 15 or 20,000 a year. So you have 6 or 8 companies you're spending 200,000 just on clothes.
And that's why like I respect anyone who's like doing that now, whether it be you know those third party shops selling the vape and Supreme. Like I know that is not an easy like business model to go by. So like you know.
You almost got
off
like
that. That's.
I mean, it's honestly.
Crazy,
I mean that model is a little bit easier to like work around because at least if you have one piece, it's a lot easier to sell one thing instead of like 20 of them.
Especially if they're just sitting for sure.
Because I mean, honestly, especially within the streetwear style, nobody wants to be like have the same piece as somebody else in the city. Honestly, and especially such a small.
Real niggas don't.
Real
If I see a nigga some shit that I got,
honestly, and you're like that's why the vintage is hitting right now.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like big shout to, like Diddy Gritty and all that.
that's
All the
literally
spots like
one
that,
of
'cause-
one spot.
Like you
bro.
will not like see like anything in there in any other store, like because you know not many spots here are peddling jackets from the 50s and the 60s and shit.
And I'm asking questions that I know for the most part, but like I just want to touch on it because these people, outside of the general consensus of 2026 followers we have, may not know you all.
Yeah.
What got both of you all? Y'all are two of the most fashionable people I know. Outside of Frankie, there's a few other niggas I'll shout out, but we probably won't get them on the podcast anyway. So, what you two? So I say that I met both of you all at the same time because y'all were always kind of just like two similar people of just like style and just taste. So, from whoever wants to go first, whatnot. What? Oh shit, my laptop is fell.
Yo,
Luckily,
big
there
shout
were
out.
blankets right there.
Man,
Yes.
what, I
Hey,
just
yo.
saw this shit on my lap. I don't know why I'm not doing that.
Hey,
But like,
man.
what got both of you all into fashion and to where y'all at right now?
man, I wouldn't even say like man, I'm still learning. Like I'm nowhere, not even 50% of where I want to be at when it comes to like clothing and like personal style and shit like that. But I will say it's had to be music like hip hop, like wanting to dress like you know Jim Jones at one time, or like wanting to look like
Those studded belts are crazy
the
right now,
studded
too, bro.
belts,
What's those called?
Man, I just that was
the
that
BB
Ed Hardy-
Simmons,
The
bro.
BB Simmons, yeah, that's what I'm
all
talking
that,
about.
I
bro.
used to think that shit
Them
was
shit's
crazy.
coming back, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be, you know, I'll definitely leave those where they were, but you know what I mean. But yo, like shout out to anyone who wants to bring it back though, because that's just
Yeah.
If there's two niggas in the room, I got called like, hey, bro, this nigga's not. Nah,
no,
Keep that,
bro.
keep
Hey,
keep
listen,
that.
man, I respect all different type of styles, but yeah, leave them shits and pass. You know?
Yeah,
Just-
man.
just
I
music.
would just say like, I just really am thankful for like the internet. Like, I just remember like, I mean, obviously like I'm from like a one red light town, so you know
He's dead ass about
people
One
that
red light.
you know the people that I'm like looking at every day are. It was just so different from like my mindset, and like I would just be like watching videos and like music videos and shit. And I can honestly say that like when I seen like the front end video for the first time, it's kind of when I was like, oh shit, like there's people out there that like I can identify
Yeah.
with that, you know. I mean, obviously like you seen like P in that video, and I mean he was hanging out with like I mean,
Dude, Lauren London's
Lenny-
in that fucking
Yo,
video, bro.
like,
yo, bro, we
like
was just
Lenny
watching this shit
Kravitz
yesterday.
and,
Yeah,
like-
Lenny Kravitz with the
and,
straight backs
like,
popping out.
Hove and like,
Yeah.
I mean, I think Nigo may have been in that video.
Yeah, no, Nigo
You know
was
what
in the
I'm saying?
video.
Like,
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
like that.
The
When
whole-
when I seen that, and I at the time I did not know who like Nigo and all these people were, but like it's crazy because like when I heard that song, like that was kind of like my introduction to like the Neptunes just in general. But then like I had at the time they were like killing it on like the radio,
Oh,
so like
dude, hot
they were
yeah.
making shit for like Nelly, and
Yeah,
Britney
bro.
Spears, and like JT and or NSYNC at the time.
I think the number is 43%.
Yeah.
2003.
43%.
Yeah,
Fucking
yeah.
Mace,
Wow.
bro.
It's like it's crazy.
Why
So like
you
and
over
all
there
those
looking
like
at
all those
me?
sounds like
Yeah.
I knew those songs, but I didn't know who the person was
Yeah.
behind it.
But you knew you liked it.
But I knew I liked it. So
Yeah.
when I found out who the person was and I looked at it and I was like, oh shit, like yo, he's different, but like he's like, I mean, you would think that somebody like of Pharrell's character and like Jay-Z on paper just don't match up.
yeah.
Like those two people probably wouldn't, like those two worlds. I mean, especially coming from where Hov was coming from, you know.
I
as
feel like
far
that
as,
was Pharrell and anybody at that time.
Exactly.
He was such a
He was
And
so
that-
like
an
outlier
with
or
his
whatever.
shit,
Yeah.
and
How
that
you
for
say
me
it?
was like literally like, so I was the nigga that was into like skateboarding and shit. Like
Mhm.
I never really got into skating just because I was too scared to get hurt. But like, and that's
No,
like
bro.
one of the things with
No
skating
way.
is like you can't avoid. Like it's like you're gonna break some shit. Like it's not.
Oh,
it's
God.
it's gonna happen. Like it's inevitable. So, but like growing up like in that small town, bro. Like I would see the skaters, and at the time like I'm seeing kids where the etnies and like all that
Mhm.
type of shit, and it's just like. Playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater and shit.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, Tony Hawk Underground.
That's what I'm saying.
I had this shit on Xbox.
It's crazy. So it's just
Honestly, I
like,
was more of a virtual.
and like
virtual
even
skater
deeper than that.
than
Like
anything.
remember the
exact facts.
the Dave Mirror, like the BMX game,
Yes,
all that
yes.
shit too.
Yes.
I wish I would have got to be a very.
But like all
Yeah,
those,
bro.
it was cool about all those games is they also introduced you to a whole new palette of music too. That you
Yeah.
really-
Man.
Yeah.
Literally. So I was hearing like different sounds and shit, and like one of the things that was kind of like good about me kind of growing up where I was is that like, and I was just thinking about this recently, is that I just kind of been around like different types of music like my entire life, like from where like my mom, like my mom doesn't listen to any type of like rap music for real.
Same.
And probably the only rap that she really listened to was like Will Smith, I would probably say. So like
That nigga went cursing.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like my
Yeah.
mom's like big into like gospel and shit, and
Same
like
shit, bro.
we had like a radio station at the crib. Like I didn't hear rap on the radio until like I would come to Louisville. Like there's no like rap station. I think they had like we get like a station that's like out of Nashville that was like but it was like a pop radio station. So like I would hear like popular. That's how I heard like the Britney records with Pharrell and shit. Like that's how I heard like those records, and like I gravitated towards like pop music. Just because it was like at the time, like
back then. Yeah, like Gwen Stefani.
Early 2000s,
Yeah,
yeah,
like,
like
that was-
early
yeah.
2000s pop music
it's
undefeated,
crazy.
bro.
It was just
It
like
was a-
MTV
it
and like
was a
TRL
bitch.
and like all that shit.
That shit
Yeah.
was so fire.
It was
bro.
crazy, and like it was as a kid, like like when I wasn't at basketball practice, like that's what I was like doing after school, like just fucking watching videos and like just trying to learn about shit. Like I remember figuring out who like Jason Dill was, like from like CCS magazines and shit. Like so like
Bruh.
that's literally how all that shit just comes like full circle, as far as like just
yeah.
finding out about like
Did
all
you
those-
ever participate in like the forum culture at all, or
that's the one thing that like I was big. I really like.
KTT, right?
I fucked with like Kanye Titter, but like,
Nike Talk.
yeah,
Out here.
I never got into it as
Nike
far
Talk
as like
all day.
I
communicating.
think
with people.
aesthetic wise is what really put me off of like not be like that's why like I gravitated so hard towards like Tumblr
Yeah,
Man,
But
yeah,
Tumblr
see,
was
that's
fire,
that's
yeah.
my
Tumblr
form.
was-
That's
yeah,
my
same.
form.
because
yeah,
aesthetic of forums it was just so ugly.
Yeah,
It
really.
was terrible.
I couldn't look at that shit for hours. I could look at Tumblr photos for hours, bro.
Yeah.
Like that shit was
Yeah.
sick as fuck. When we
That's
found
why
that
some
out,
people
bro.
really still like. I mean, Reddit is still like forum style.
Yeah.
It's still
Yeah, but
very
that's-
just like.
yeah.
It's tough to read.
It's
man.
just.
It's like reading a manual sometimes. You know what I mean? Where
Maybe
people
not
are just
even
chiming
that.
in.
It's just like. It's like Twitter with no layout. Or,
Well, it's
Yeah,
also
like,
not.
like-
It's not. It's not
Tumblr,
like
yeah.
Tumblr for the most part is like focused on like the arts.
Yeah.
Reddit, you gotta go find whatever like subculture you're a part of
Oh yeah.
and really look for it. You know what I mean? So
which
Tumblr's
is
kind of
nice because you can get into your category or
Yeah.
whatever. And but yeah, it was definitely like I feel like forums, even though they're a big part of a lot of people's lives,
Yeah.
didn't really.
Yeah, I missed that window for whatever reason. I mean, I was finding out about music from forums, but like I didn't participate.
I think it was
Yeah,
more for
that's
sneaker
what-
culture though.
I would always like go on and like look at the stuff, but like being like an active like. Most of the people on there were usually dickheads, and I don't think I was that much of a
Like, I
dickhead.
was
Yeah,
just looking at the
people on
comments.
forums are actually just terrible people.
Like
None
everybody,
of them are
usually,
good.
usually it's just like somebody that's like naive, and then somebody that's hating that naive person.
Or they're just
And
trolling,
then-
just
Man,
on there,
you
just
ain't
talking.
lying,
And
bro.
then
that's exactly what it is.
That's all I see is like a repetition of this cycle of
Yeah.
like somebody that's not
Just
hip
hate.
to something, and
Dude,
then
Hypebeast comments used to go crazy
Oh,
back in
and-
the
What
day.
do they still do, bro? Like I try
I feel
about
like it
every
used to be
time
when they used to have
Man.
the Street Snap segment, bro.
Oh,
God damn, they used to ride every nigga out on their bro.
I remember like the
Alila May just gets called out for gentrification every time. Yes. Yeah, because she
Oh,
was
wow.
like, they had pictures of her in Harlem, and they're like, she ain't from here, blah, blah, blah. And,
She's from LA though.
she's from
Niggas
LA.
are haters,
Let's
bro.
be nice.
Hey yo,
But she
all
had, like,
love
the
to
pit bull.
LA, bro. On
Yeah.
God, we
Yeah,
love you.
yes.
Okay,
I love you. Please call me.
Look.
I met her for a few times. She's whatever.
damn, bro.
Chill out. I'm taking it out. Damn, man.
Hey,
Hey.
it's all good. Speak your truth.
All right, so I
Speak
got
the
another
truth.
question. So piggybacking off what Taylor was saying about, which is the thing about people don't know. Like I remember, like so Taylor put out a project 15
Forever ago, something like that.
Well, and First in Flight, and first off, amazing project. Don't let this nigga know. And I remember I remember liking it so much I wanted to go to his hometown because he had said a lot of stuff in there, and I was just like, shit, this nigga spreading light. I'm thinking for whatever, I knew it wasn't gonna be Hollywood or anything like that. I knew it was gonna be a small town in Kentucky, but I just wanted to see where he was from to get the context on like the raps. You know what I mean? It's really a small ass town, bro. Like Taylor is from like you think about like, and I connect with him so hard because like his mother listened to gospel music, Pops Pies on rap or whatnot.
Nah, my dad didn't listen to. I mean, he listened to rap, like, but it was like he listened to more like Isaac Hayes and like Marvin Gaye. Like that's like
yeah.
I got that from him. Like just,
Yeah,
but yeah, nah, for sure.
But
like,
in kind of the same kind of parent, mom, dad dynamic or
Yeah.
whatnot, and then me being a Shabby boy, shout out to Dixie Highway,
Yeah,
you know the
shout out
vibes.
to
We're not
Dixie
going
Highway,
there.
yeah.
DJ Dixie Highway.
But
DJ Dixie Highway.
but like just like if you put Shavli out, it almost kind of felt like what Horse Cave kind of felt like, just him being around. In same shit with Oklahoma and how Frank is in Old Louisville. You know what I mean? It's just you seeing all types of different people for the most part, more in Old Louisville, but like in you know, in our parts it was kind of just more like the white people who were working at the same places our parents were working at. So we almost felt like they was just like us. You know what I mean? So so saying when you talk about not having radio station, that shit's fucking insane, bro.
yeah, like it was just I had to like all the rap content that I was getting was like I had to like sneak and like get it. So like I mean my brother, you know, he's really, now that I think about shit like that, I mean I got a lot of shit from him, you know, him coming home from college and playing like Tribe Called Quest and like, you know, Most Def, you know, To Live Quality,
Shout out to your
like,
brother having taste,
all that,
bro.
like,
Yeah.
and I mean,
God,
I remember, I literally remember like just moments of me like us going to like Dairy Queen when he would come to this crib and like him playing me like the D'Angelo like Untitled album, like just me like us riding in the car and like me hearing these things, and like at the time I was like, bro, why is this shit not on the radio? And it's like, and he's just like, I mean, they just don't play things like this on the radio. But I would hear, you know, I would come to Louisville, like, you know, my parents would take me to like the zoo or some shit, which, you know, whatever. But I would hear like
Whatever.
I would hear
I'm
like
about to
I would
say that.
love just to
Nah.
come, like I couldn't wait to like you could probably like pick up the radio station like right after like E-Town. So like I couldn't wait to like change it to like B96. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't wait to like
That's
hear
fine.
that.
In,
I mean,
in to be
that,
honest,
I mean, that
though,
was E Feezy when he was here.
Yeah,
so
and it's like,
Feezy
and
was
it
one of
was
the
so
biggest
different.
DJs.
Like I remember hearing like the
Hot 104 back in the day.
oh,
bro.
Hot 104,
I remember
God
hearing
damn.
that
blazing hip hop.
Louisville, like on the radio. Like,
I can't
all
even
the
remember it,
time.
bro. I'd have
Like,
to hear it,
yo,
bro.
I don't know who the
Was
fuck
that Code Red?
I don't remember who was on that. I don't remember who was on that song. I just remember hearing that on the radio and shit, just being like, yo, this is crazy. Like people, they're playing like
That's funny. So
Local,
the
like,
radio
local
almost made
rappers.
you come here.
Literally,
on
like
some
I was
random
always
yeah.
excited because I have family that lived up here, so I would come up here like in the summers and shit for like cookouts and like like I said, my parents take me to like to the zoo, or like my cousin played basketball for U of L, so like I would come up here and
Who's
go
your
to
cousin?
Tick Rogers.
I'd have to look him up, but that's dope
Man,
though.
legend,
That's
bro.
sick.
Shout out
Yeah,
to him.
that's sick.
Shout out
Yo,
to
yo.
big cuz, man.
Mob ties.
Yeah.
Or tight ends.
Yeah, man. So like,
Yeah, it's always been Louisville. Like,
But you have somebody on the basketball team at Louisville too?
no.
Okay.
Yeah, so saying that, so with radio kind of being like kind of a rare thing for you.
yeah.
So for both, and it's a question for both of you all, since you are with the Angel Dust Radio and everything, y'all doing that. What did radio mean to you growing up? With you being in Louisville, always kind of being able to hear
Yeah.
rap music. With you not being in Louisville, being in a small town that didn't necessarily provide rap music, but when you came to Louisville or whenever you went anywhere else, you got to listen to it. Like, what did radio mean to y'all growing up?
radio, honestly, like it meant a lot to me. Like, and I sort of had like not like a love-hate relationship with it.
Man.
It was just more like I knew like what I was hearing on the radio, and then I'd go on like LimeWire and discover like
Oh, boy.
so much more music,
Yeah.
and I'd be like, yo, shout out to
I
what's
did
on the
not
radio.
have sexual relations.
Oh, bro, that was,
that was the worst download.
Yo, you hated
Yo,
that shit.
yo, yeah. So it'd be like,
Yeah.
like in middle school, like I'd make mix CDs for people and shit like that. Yeah.
Oh,
So
bro.
like I was that type of guy. So it was just you
you
would
was
see
that nigga, bro.
Yeah, hey.
Yo.
And, bro, people thought it was so hard, man. You Windows Media Player,
God.
a blank CD,
Oh,
you
man.
drag and drop the songs.
But
That's
that was
it.
everything to a
And-
young nigga, bro. Listen to your favorite song on the
Yeah.
bus.
Literally.
Because
At the bus
the-
stop. Oh
yeah.
my god.
And I used to never understand, like, I was obviously a kid, and I'm just like, yo, like, all this mixtape music, why can't I hear it on the radio?
All the time.
Like, yeah.
Shit,
Did
Like,
you guys ever use Pandora at all back then? Like when it
you know
When it
what?
first kind of came.
Yeah, I
like,
mean,
felt
back
like-
then it
Man.
Like
had
Spotify came quickly after, right?
No, no.
Pandora's been out like that?
Pandora was like
Pandora's been
09,
out,
08.
or even
Nah,
earlier.
Even earlier than that.
Yeah,
bro.
Pandora's been around like
I
a
had
really
no
long
clue.
time.
That was like first like
because it was just a
smartphone shit,
website.
yeah.
It was like the first streaming, but it was just completely
Yeah.
random. So you just put in
I
like
had
one
no
song,
clue.
like say you put in one song or one artist you liked, and it would
tell
give you
the shit
everything
related
else that
it.
like
Yeah.
related
Yeah.
to it.
I remember like one of my teachers used to like she would put like Pandora radio on like one of my art teachers would do that like just in class and shit. Like that's kind of how I like found out like about that, and we would just playing like whatever. But yeah, like radio has been like it's crazy how radio's kind of like a dead like thing now. Like nobody
Quote, unquote,
fucks with
yeah.
the radio, and like I look at kind of like what we have as more as like it being like a platform just for us to kind of like just play what we want. I mean,
Yeah,
just
that's
kind
it,
of
yeah.
like just bringing something refreshing to to things. It's like, and it's like at an indie level, so it's like there's no like
Restrictions or some shit.
corporations
Yes,
type
yes,
shit. You know what I'm
yes.
saying? Which I mean, it very well could be for them. I honestly don't know, but
Yeah.
like for us, they just
But
kind of
yeah,
give us the freedom
it's-
to do
yeah.
whatever. But it's just like that freedom is like the same type of energy as like I bring to that is like the same energy that I like. I remember the radio putting me onto music. Like
yeah.
I would hear like new things on the radio sometimes, and like and it not like I would hear new artists and just be like. I remember hearing Lloyd on the radio and being like for the first
I
time.
promise you, the
You know what I'm
radio
saying?
does not do that anymore.
And that's what I'm saying. Like the
Like,
radio
nah,
now
it's
is
when
dead,
you listen
bro.
to something now, it's
It's
like,
dead,
okay,
bro.
so I'm gonna hear this on the radio in about 3 to 4 months. Like that's
I mean,
how it's
even-
been for like the past.
It's terrible,
10
bro.
plus
yeah,
years,
so it's
maybe.
just like, but
Not
that's like the
hating,
radio is
you know.
everything for me, just because like I just remember car rides. Obviously, like I played basketball growing up, so I was in the car a lot, AAU and shit like that. So like I remember listening to, but I would listen to everything, like because I'd be in the car with like say for instance my dad coached me like a lot of the summer ball and stuff like that I would play, or like but like some of the times when like I couldn't ride with my parents, just maybe ride with like my friends, like my white friends or some shit, and like they would just play like I would that's how I would hear like AC/DC and like I remember there this filter. There's a song called "Can You Take My Picture." I just remember that song just like kind of vividly, like all the like hearing that song just on the way to the games for whatever reason. It's in like the Girl Next Door movie. Like that's kind of like, I guess it was like that era of like movies. But I just remember hearing like songs like that. I just being attracted to shit like that. And then I would like, so I live in a small town, but like all the black people like live on the same street. So I'm
Wow.
coming back to like the crib and I'm listening to these songs. And they're like, bro, what the fuck you listening to, bro? Like,
That's
what is this? Like, who the
that's-
fuck listens to Linkin
Hey,
Park, bro? Like,
hey,
you know what I'm
Yo,
saying?
just
Like,
hey,
and it was like that type of like, you know, thing. But like, you know, I was just kind of like, I kind of got to a point where it was like, yo, I like what I like.
Yeah.
You was cool with that.
And I was cool with that,
Mhm.
bro. Like, and then,
That's-
like I said, just sneaking around, having the kind of the joy that I got from just being able to just, you know, hear shit all the time.
Yeah,
Like,
discovering new music
discovering
is like
new
that's
music,
that's
like-
the
Still
funnest
the
shit.
fucking
Yeah,
goat,
like-
bro.
Yeah,
Me and Frank,
yeah.
bro, I be hey, like he'll still show me some stuff. I'll show him some stuff. Niggas show me stuff. I'm like, hey, you show me rapper, dude. I said the rapper, dude.
Rapper,
homie,
dude.
homie, I think Frank Ocean put him on his radio station. You played that shit at the Garden
Mike.
the other day,
Oh,
bro.
Kobe Jordan.
And we was just
Oh,
like
you talking
listening to
about
that shit.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
niggas was like, bro, that's the best feeling. Is
Are you
like
talking about
finding
Florida
some.
Man?
Florida man.
I
Yeah.
think you're talking
Yeah,
about Mike,
yeah.
but
Oh,
shout out
No,
to
that's
Mike,
what I'm
yeah,
talking
yeah.
Mike is hard, but
The Florida Man, that's what I'm
Florida
talking
Man
about.
is hard.
So, and we was just like going off on that shit, and just like I still, cause like it's weird when I meet people who don't get so passionate about listening to music.
Yeah, that's tough.
I
That's
don't get
crazy.
that. Like
And
I
it's really cool. What I found the other day, my friend Sig put me on, is another like live streaming app that like you put out your mix and like it's lively, like telling you what song you're playing, like to people that are like listening to your mix. It's just, and so like say I was like DJing live and like streaming it to some web through this website. It's like ID3. But it's telling you like you can add the songs to Spotify or Apple Music like right there while somebody's mixing.
like how Shazam does. Or whatnot.
yeah, except
that's
it's just
hard.
like
That's
and
hard.
it's just like in the app and you can like
Oh, that's sick.
re-listen to
Yeah,
whoever's
actually, I need
mixes.
to know this.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
saying,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just
send me this
Googling.
app.
I was
Yeah,
like,
I was about to say,
I
like,
can't
put me on
find
this
it. I'm
app,
like,
bro.
can you
Yeah.
actually-
That's kind of crazy.
No, it's a app from like LA. It's really new, but like they're already like hitting up cool producers and stuff, and it's just like stuff like that. And anybody can broadcast. Like y'all could probably broadcast the Angel Lust sets on there also.
I think what's
Which-
which we actually just got like brought on for like full time, like to be at the radio station like
Yep.
on Mondays.
That's lit.
Like yeah, so
That's
at first
lit.
we just been kind of like subbing.
So
just
what
to
time
kinda-
do on Mondays?
It's I think we're doing like 4 to 5 on Mondays.
Angel Lust Radio 4 to
I mean, that's
5.
traffic hour.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
a great
yeah,
album,
yeah,
bro.
yeah,
Niggas
run it
getting
up.
off work and shit.
Yeah,
bro.
everybody, you know,
Yeah,
you
we're
pissed off in traffic.
Man.
Yeah, man, we
97.1
definitely-
got you, bro.
It's gonna be some fly shit, man. We got like just really cool ideas, just trying to just do different things,
Angel
like
Mondays. No.
just trying to do different things as far as like having you guys bring mixes and like
That's
Yeah.
that's nothing either, bro.
just like that's
I love
we
coming
want to
back.
we just want to do different shit and like actually like I kind of want to make it like I mean the feeling to me is like I want it to be like how Rap City was like. You know what I'm saying? Like you never know kind of what you're gonna, what you're gonna see, like what you're gonna like. And I mean, we may talk on there like sometimes like, but it's not gonna be like a lot of like, just whatever, just funny banter. You know what I'm saying? Just like
Yeah,
whatever. Just because
Yeah, you
I
know.
mean, I just would like to like when we listen to like Blonded Radio or whatever, like it's just like good content. Like you don't have to necessarily worry about like whatever, like, Frank pops in when he wants, roof access or whatever. Like, they just kind of pop in like whenever they want and just, but you always know that the music is going to be like quality.
Yeah,
And it's
that's-
like shit
yeah.
that you've never heard before. A lot of the times now, I mean,
Yeah.
some of the times they
I was
play
about to
some
say, I don't
things
know
that-
if we can stump these two. It's gonna be tough to
I mean,
stump you guys.
fucking
like,
Frank is like the sound
Hey,
yeah,
king.
it's like
bro.
you guys,
Hey,
you guys are the
hey,
Sonic
he's got
captain.
Hey
fucking
Frank,
deep,
hey,
feel
I'm gonna
me?
tell you something because we be DJing together, and Frank could just play some remixes or shit. I had to get on my SoundCloud game because
Yo,
this motherfucker,
who's,
bro, be
SoundCloud's
going off,
crazy.
bro. I'm
Whose
like,
brother
hold
you
on.
just put me on not too long ago?
Nigel?
No,
Or
is Gene?
oh, Dawson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just heard him
Oh,
on
yeah.
the. He was on one of like
He's fire,
Claro's
bro.
like playlists or some shit.
Yeah.
recently, and I was
Yeah.
just like, damn, bro. Like,
She's been putting on.
yeah, I was
Frank know
like,
I take it personally
Yeah,
type
it's
shit.
so
Like, it's
wild,
so wild,
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
wild, bro.
the
Fucking
connector looking.
nah, Frank. That's a whole different story. But nah,
Yeah.
fucking yeah, man. I think what's important about what you all are doing. And originally you had Taylor had told me about doing a radio station a while ago, and I was just
it's
like,
crazy. My mom told me as a kid that I wanted to do a radio show.
Well,
Like
look.
I had no like
You don't
just,
remember saying that shit?
I don't even remember saying that, but she
Yeah.
told me that like, yo, you always wanted to do like a radio show, and it's just wild to me. That,
She's
like,
probably like very hyped for you now, bro.
Yeah.
You know how moms
Yeah,
be,
she's
bro. They be
stoked, man.
hyped about that shit,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
so,
Like,
man, we got a lot of things.
when you originally told me about it, I was just like, why are they on the radio for, bro? Like, nobody listen to. But then I think about it, and even with like the podcast shit, it's new to me because like I just watch interviews all the time. That's like my biggest thing. But like, bro, I was talking to Sulio. Shout out Suwap. I was with that nigga earlier.
Suwa.
He was giving me heart. He's like, hey Dominic, make sure you get it right because I'm not gonna listen if y'all fuck it up. He love podcasts. He love podcasts.
And he said, "There's gonna be big moments of silence."
Yo!
And I was like, "What moment?" And I was
I don't
like, "What
even-
moment is
hey,
like?"
big
And then I was like,
moments of
"Let's throw in a
silence.
moment of silence." Just for
Yo, a moment of silence for Suwap. Hold on. All right, we good. So basically, hopefully he listened up to the time. But like the first time I did it, I text Taylor, I called Chris, and I was just like, bro, like that was sick. First off, I've been listening to that Black Party Dancing, and what's her name? My dad's white, my mom's black.
Oh, I know you're talking.
Brittany Howard.
Brittany Howard. I've been listening to that song and that album, bro. I forgot all about that
Them
album.
Shakes.
And I was like, the dopest thing about this is like, if we were kids and we heard two cool niggas like you on the radio, bro, playing just like whatever, we would spaz out, bro. Like that was everything we wanted as kids, bro. You know what I mean? Was just
Yeah.
and that's why I say like us all knowing each other, just honestly off the fact that like artistic shit, just knowing that you was into maybe the same like weird cult, weird streetwear shit that we was into, is like all you wanted was representation.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
That's all you wanted, which is a nigga that, you know what I mean? So, like, and even, like, when Taylor talks about his older brother, I think about how I done put my little brother on so much stuff.
Yeah.
And this nigga comes to me
Hey.
talking about, hey, Dominic, you heard of Demon Days by Gorillaz? I'm like, nigga, what? That's like a top 10
Hold on,
album
hold
for
on,
me,
hold on.
bro. He came to me one time just random, like, have you ever heard it? Because he's, you know, Spotify and
Yo.
shit now. You can just go down a rabbit hole and just listen. Or he's like, Dominic, I didn't know Pharrell made music before. Like, so he's listening In My Mind for the first time, bro. And he's just like, he's getting fucked. He's like, damn, this kind of sounds like what Tyler
Hey.
does. I'm like,
Yeah, it's like
nigga,
your mind's blown. Bro.
I think that's the feeling when everyone listens to that
you feel me?
that like album the
I
first
mean,
time.
even the
'Cause I remember
the prequel though is
The
like
prequel,
oh,
yeah.
The
my
prequel.
God,
Oh
like,
man, I was
The
listening
little
to that.
skateboard came.
Wait, but then they also came out with Out of My Mind.
out of my mind
With Roots.
with the
With
Which
Questlove.
I
fucking
have
Questlove.
that. I have
That
those versions of those
creamsicle?
songs.
Yeah,
where,
creamsicle.
Oh my God.
With all the instrumentation. So he did
Yo,
three
we gotta
projects related to one
Hey, bro, the
project.
fact that we was just like so on point with that right there, bro.
Yeah,
With a little
sheesh.
skate. Because I remember listening. When I think about that, I think about being in Frank's church, which Frank lives in a church. People will explain that at some point later. But I remember just us being like 16,
It's my old
17
bedroom,
years
by the
old.
way.
Yeah, exactly. We're actually in Frank's old bedroom right now. That's actually a studio that his brother uses. But I remember just being around Frank, and I was late to the Pharrell party. Like relative to everybody else, I was more Kanye and Cudi was that nigga that put me on this shit. So he was rocking Bape, he's rocking 10 Deep jeans and shit. Like
Yeah.
Cudi was that nigga that
And
put me
Cudi
on
was
this
almost
shit.
already a son of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
was,
100%
yeah.
was. You know what I
So,
mean?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so I was very late to just the Pharrell party. I knew that I liked what he did, but I just wouldn't realize I went into reading the booklets and shit like that. I was just a little like, fuck it, you know what I mean?
I passed Kavarshier.
You know what I mean? Like I didn't get
that's
it.
where I got like that's when
I
I
remember
got
like
on
just
to
cutting grass,
Pharrell.
like and going to buy the In Search of album at Sam Goody at the time.
Sam
TBT.
Goody.
Like,
Oh,
shout out to
alright,
those
Like
things,
those, like that's how I'm saying. That's how I like connected to music. I mean, even with me even
bro. Every
doing
Tuesday, bro.
with me
Yeah,
even
'cause-
doing music now, like that's kind of how like I have such a nostalgia for like for music. Like I'm such a fan of like that's what I was. You had just briefly said something a second ago about like it's weird that I've seen people talk like artists talk about like they don't listen to music, but they like and people who make music that they don't listen to music, and I find that being like
It's pretty
extremely
mind-boggling. Yeah,
It's
uh,
weird
I don't
we
get
had this-
that.
We had this
Like,
conversation.
yeah, and I was just like,
we were
I don't
both
really
like, wow.
understand like how you can't really like listen to music and you make music. Like I understand maybe not if you listen to the same genre. Like I mean, I can't listen to rap all day every day. Like I mean, I branch out and listen to different things. Like I mean,
And I don't know if that's like a like this is my job, this is business
Right,
thing
yeah.
mindset when people say
Even
that.
still, bro,
even
I can-
still,
which,
yeah,
which,
it's crazy.
which
yeah.
is like, which kind of like breaks your heart to hear somebody say that, because you're like, damn, is it
Yeah, because
really?
it's just like it's not genuine, and I feel like that's kind of how I think that's maybe why the music game is kind of like the way it is because like I don't think people genuinely make music because they love it. I think that people love the lifestyle and what comes with it. Like they love
It's-
like the glamour of
The
like
misogyny.
what,
Yeah,
yeah, like
yeah.
what like what
He said the
brings-
misogyny.
People
Yeah.
are definitely like more influenced by the business aspect rather than the
Yeah,
art
like,
side.
you know,
Everyone would rather like count up and dip out than
yeah
actually like take their time and make a good album. That's why you see people dropping 5 mixtapes a year.
yeah exactly
But then you have people that are still like you know, the Kendricks and the Franks who drop shit every
T. Raj over
4
here.
years. Yeah, I mean shit, T. Raj.
I mean, and you know what's crazy is like I was talking to somebody and I was just like, and Taylor is somebody I call. I'm like, bro, I'm like, I've called Taylor like, we don't talk every day, but it's always the same shit. When we talk an hour conversation to me and this nigga being like, hey, bro, blah blah blah. And Taylor's somebody I can always. He always kind of knows. He just knows. Nigga just knows shit. I'd be like, hey, bro. I remember one time I was working on a song. I was like, bro. I was like freaking out about it, and I just talked to him. He'd be like the same shit. He just said some shit like, cause so Taylor just put out an EP or Project Fish, which is fucking awesome. I love Neptune. So shout out to that. Y'all please check that shit out. I love that. I love that shit so much, bro. Will was he's like, man, I think he gonna try to get with Waverly pretty soon or whatnot, because he was like, the production's so fucking good.
Yeah.
Shout out to Juan for the mix and master on that. Shout out to everybody who's featured. That shit sounds beautiful. But Taylor is so good at just being okay with like just going through the motions of shit. Cause you gotta doing any type of art stuff, like you may not have it every fucking day.
And that's the process.
You know what I mean? And like one thing I'll call him, I'm like, bro, I ain't wrote something, and I'm feeling so flustered. I'm like, cause like just like you said, bro, people putting out stuff every fucking 4 or 5. I'm like, how are you doing this? I like my mind. I'm like, granted, like I can write some shit every day, but like it won't feel the same because I'm not talking about anything.
Yeah, I was talking to him yesterday, like about it. I was like, yo, music has to be like a labor of love. Like you can't force it. Or, like I mean, art, period. But you just can't feel like you're forcing something, or like you know, you feel stressed out, so you want to like, you know, use music to like compensate for that, which it can help sometimes. But sometimes I'm just like, you just want to put it out when you're ready and you feel good. Like and I think a lot of people don't do that.
like if it was more of like people just kind of like saying like what they want to hear instead of like what they feel like somebody else wants to hear.
Yeah.
Like I think that it would just that would kind of like help a lot of that shit. But I mean, I feel like shit is so fucked up that it's even hard for like, you know, a lot of the artists that are popping, like you don't even like know them. Like I mean, because the thing of it is like you can
you don't know them unless you actually know them.
yeah, you don't know them unless you actually know them, and then like because
Facts.
they're rapping about maybe lives that they live vicariously through. Like it's like you know,
Or shit they used to do.
Dude,
or shit that they used to do, or they you know their homies used to do, which is cool. Like I think that's all a part of like, you know, music. You know, just writing in general is like being able to absorb different energy from different people. Like that's kind of how I go about my whole process. Is like I can find inspiration in anything, like, whether I'm talking to, you know, some lady, you know, just randomly. Like I try to like I try to find those little moments and like shit in those type of things. That's how I come up with like, you know, writing. Like I just find like those type of moments are what inspire me more than, you know, me looking and seeing what, you know, what car somebody's driving.
And let me say something because I know you got something. But let me pick off what he said. I remember there was a song. If anybody listens to my music, I write songs about women a lot. And I remember there was a
woman.
130.
so there was a song. There was a song I wrote about just like making out with a girl, and I showed it to my homie. He was just like, "Man, like this is exactly how." Like, just he felt so. He, those like small moments of shit that like maybe meant nothing to that girl at all. I wrote a whole fucking song about it, and you would have thought I was in love with her.
It's real, you know what I'm saying? That's the thing of like those moments.
Relatability is
and it's like it's real and it's like honest. So like and I think that people can people know what's genuine, like and like I think that that's something that's just you can feel that shit. I think that what didn't Toro just say that in a song here recently? People tend to feel it when you feel your soul, or something like he said that like I really
but that's
like,
so real. It's
so
simple.
real, and it's just like
Yeah,
it's such a simple thing. And I think that's too is like about music, and that's kind of one thing about me, like kind of like my process of even approaching music is like I look at it from like a songwriting perspective as far as like how can I take from point A to Z, you know what I'm saying, and make it kind of like make it make sense, you know, like
but in the shortest amount of time.
but in the shortest amount of time,
Yeah,
because I mean obviously now like people motherfuckers don't have the the time to sit down and like listen to just you rapping to them.
I
For,
don't
like,
think we want to
for
rap
an
that
hour.
much either, though.
Yeah, I
Shit,
think
well-
the dynamic is like changed. Like
It's
think
different now, bro.
different now, and I think the
wanna
audiences
sing.
are like different, and that's the thing. That's what's so cool about now is that you can really like. There's people that are fucking popping that like literally I've never heard of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they have their own because you can literally have your own following by doing
It's like this cloud. It's like because that's why
Yeah.
it's like
It's still, I mean, it's still pretty insane. The population is like the country's what 320 million or more,
yeah
and then so like we're still like looking at somebody's plays of like 1 million plays in the whole world,
yeah.
and which is out of like a fraction of
Yeah, that's
7,
it's not even
8, almost 8
1%.
billion.
Yeah, that's
It's not
actually
even-
small as
It's
fuck.
so
Yeah, it's
small, and
crazy.
if you look, if you like exaggerate the numbers to where like your amount of streams are probably closer to Migos is than the amount of people there are in the world.
Yeah.
Like if you
Yeah.
like think about like
Yeah.
numbers in that way, that it really is so insignificant, and like I mean, most of the money isn't coming from
Music, bro.
music.
Streaming
yeah,
plays.
yeah, I know you're totally
I
right.
will say conversations like these make me feel good about stuff that y'all doing, stuff that we doing, and just doing it for the love.
Yeah, that's
And just
really
enjoying
what it's
and
about.
and just like trying to like I mean I know, we're going into 2020 and everybody has their like New Year's resolutions. I try to start stuff now. Like I mean, granted, it's been a solid year for I think all of us in this room. I mean, with you releasing your project, Angel Left Radio, Frankie doing all the fucking shit that he does on a regular basis.
Like,
I mean, we've done
can
stuff.
you keep up with it?
I think all of
Juggernaut,
us.
bro.
I mean,
The
you know what I mean?
Juggernaut.
but at the same time, like
Octopus man
us
out
being
here.
kids from Louisville or whatnot, and kind of being in this new generation of in Kentucky in general, and just being in this place where like when we was growing up, bro, we didn't have all this shit. And shout out to James Lindsay and that whole crew and whatnot, because they were the only crew doing anything, and that's why anytime I see a nigga, I love James Lindsay, because I'm just like, he was the only one. I remember he had a pop up in like Nulu or whatnot, and I was like, hey bro, this kind of reminds me of like some Mad Bread Club shit. He was like, yo, you know about that? I said, yo bro, me and Frank been on that shit since like high school. You know what I mean?
minutes,
So like,
yeah.
I don't know, man. It's just
It
dope.
was funny. I think I might have showed them Madberry Club because I met them like in high school,
Yeah, you
and
did
like
meet
I
them,
was
yeah.
like, so
it goes full circle, though. Yeah.
I'm not sure that's, but
Yeah,
like I
that's
was
a
like,
bar, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Everyone's under the wing, you know.
But
I
it's
mean,
it's dope when I get to talk to y'all. I mean, which I can talk to y'all all the time, but it's just like, man, niggas be at work, niggas be at the crib. A lot of times we so isolated. I remember somebody asked me recently, it's like, damn, do you and Frankie even hang out anymore? I was like, all the time, but in actuality, I might only see this nigga once a week because we talk FaceTime all the time and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he may be out of town for like a fucking month.
You usually come through.
I usually come through, but like, just like you
it
you
ain't like when we was
emotions.
in- yeah.
And when we was kids, when we could just
Yeah.
see, well, bro, I used to
Every day
when we was
type
kids,
shit.
I used to come over every
it's
single
forced friendships, honestly, because you see somebody every day. And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
and
Take
you
it
know,
out, bro, yeah.
Bro,
you
we-
know somebody better than the back of your
You
hand
feel me? So
almost.
like in high school, I used to come over every single day to record music. You know what I mean? So I'm seeing Frank every day versus, I mean, I still talk to this nigga. I probably talk to this nigga every day since we met, damn near. You know what I mean? Type shit, just like through Facebook and stuff. But it's just dope talking to people. And I mean, I guess that's what we want to do with this podcast, just talking to creatives, especially around Louisville, Kentucky. But I mean, if we go anywhere else, that's cool.
Oh, it's gotta go.
Well,
But,
yeah,
well, yeah,
yeah,
which
yeah.
we,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah,
just
there's-
dope.
and
Like,
we're actually planning, something like that in the future.
Yeah.
but yeah, so that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So like the biggest
Yeah.
thing is not to cut that out, but you know the vows. But but it's just it's just dope talking to people who like I relate to so hard. I mean, even Chris, Like I said, I call myself DJ Dixie Howard because of where I'm from, Shabby. But I tell Snake Chris is from Oklahoma.
2 weeks.
Shabby, hey, bitch,
Oh,
Shabby and Oklahoma is goddamn similar too. Poplar level with Dixie Highway, the same street, bro.
Hey man, listen.
You get the
distant
same
cousins,
ugly motherfuckers.
dirty cousins.
He said dirty cousins.
So it's just like,
I mean,
you know what I mean?
There's
It is what it is.
Thoroughbred Lounge 1 and Thoroughbred Lounge
I mean,
my
literally,
gosh.
bro.
On his
Hey,
freedom.
honestly, what happened? What's that place? Trixie's.
Trixie's sold.
Yeah.
Trixie's sold. Yes, I
It's
mean,
become a
y'all
community center
gotta.
or something.
Yeah, it is. It's like a, like
Damn,
a Muslim
for real?
community center. Now. Yeah, I swear, bro, I put that on
The
everything.
demons, they
bro.
got in that damn spot. Lord Jesus.
Yeah.
Lord, G, bitches
I mean,
never used to tip when I would deliver.
Yeah, hey, yo, Gunna performed there.
Yeah,
that was a thing. Yes,
Wow.
yo.
I remember looking at his album cover and I was like, I don't know if this is gonna be tight. And
Damn,
I remember
You
missing
slept.
it, thinking,
no, because I told you about the show too. Because
Yeah,
Blake
yeah.
said he was going,
Damn,
and
we
you
slept.
didn't even. You were like, nah.
That
Bro.
was
Well,
like,
Well, I
that's
mean,
like,
just because it was that fucking Trixie.
that's like
I know where it's
slime
bro.
season, right?
It was Slime
Okay.
season 2, right? Or
Yeah, it was one of those, I feel
it was the one that's just like super green on the cover and like
Yeah.
very.
Yeah,
And I was just like,
slimy.
I don't know,
Very slimy.
very
Well,
slimy.
I saw him at Travis Scott and he fucking killed it. But
Yeah,
I used to fucking deliver tacos to them at from New Wave, and I was like, they never tip, and I was like, man,
That's
this
terrible.
is very weird because I know how you all make your money. But I mean, shout out to them though. I mean, not anything crazy, but they get money off tips, quote unquote. You know,
Well, I mean, no, it's Muslim community center now. So,
man, shout out to my
Shout out.
Muslim folk, man. Shout out to But
Big
okay,
shouts.
so do you all have any hold on, what I want to say.
A moment of silence. Shout
Ah.
out to
No,
Shaq.
But, do you all have any like favorite radio or podcast personalities, or just radio stations or favorite podcasts in general? Outside of 2026 and Frank White Lamone, the Magic Bounty.
Man, I don't really listen to like a whole lot of like radio and shit
Mhm.
for real. Like, I mean, I remember No Vacancy In. They used to do some shit like some SoundCloud shit. Like I haven't
Yeah,
really people
yeah.
they really do that. anymore. I
Um,
mean, even my bro's got the No Wave shirt on. Like I remember
Yeah.
that and like
Yeah.
you know.
Well,
No,
no,
it was
Virgil used to
crazy.
do too back in the day.
And,
Well, he
like,
still, I guess, Virgil still does. his shit,
NTS, I get a lot of
NTS is crazy
Yeah.
because like you just never know like what you're gonna get, and there's
Yeah.
just so much to choose from. Like it should be legal to have that much music on
N-
one platform.
NTS is some shit that I've
It
always
is
seen, but I have
crazy.
not
And-
tapped in. So I need to tap in.
And
that shit.
NTS exists, and I mean, the first time I went to New York, there was East Village Radio,
East Village, yeah.
which like
East Village.
was like the first like it's like literally they had a booth out like exposed out on the street, so people could walk up, and the
Dope.
DJ was right there.
That's lit.
So like it was just like the full open in East Village, in New York,
That's lit as
and
fuck.
I was like probably 16, like the first time seeing that, and just seeing how like accessible radio was at the time
Yeah.
was pretty cool because like, and it's almost the same because it was all streamed online too. It was like the first like big online streamed radio.
That's fire. That's so
Um,
fire. Zane Lowe. I mean, I know that's like
And I-
honestly. That's,
I'm gonna come clean, and I hate to be like this. I
Oh.
do not like Zane Lowe's shit at all.
know,
I think he just sucks the artist dick the whole
But also,
time.
I
I legitimately cannot.
Hold
do
on,
his-
hold on.
And he does like all like the dopest artists, and I can't.
But
I'm
but
sorry.
you got it. Okay.
What about Westwood?
Tim Westwood's just hilarious.
Westwood
bro.
does it. But hold on, wait. Westwood does.
He's just goofy, bro.
Yeah, I'll say like my reasoning for saying like Zane Lowe is because he's the only person that doesn't ask artists about like personal drama shit. He just wants to know
Yeah.
like the process is what you're
Yeah.
thinking when you're making this song. Like it's not
yeah.
about
Maybe I'll look at it
bullshit.
differently now.
Speaking of
No, but I
that,
know what you're saying though.
But
like,
man,
Speaking of
I'm-
that, like I was literally, I think me and Chris may have been having a conversation yesterday, but like I feel like it's so weird. Like whenever you like the juxtaposition of like how people interview like film,
Yeah.
and then how people interview for like music, I feel like it's so crazy.
Man,
Like because
I
like
never
it's
thought about
and it's
that.
so weird. Like when like you'll go like you can find like I've been looking up recently just a lot of information about the Safdie brothers and shit. And just watching like content that they have, and just the people that like will talk to them are like so well researched as far as like not or just being fans of them and being fans of like just film in general, so they can have a conversation about what films inspired them or whatever. And it's like it's not about all one of your producers is married to Emily Ratajkowski. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, right, yeah.
Okay, like I feel like that's like the thing that like people want to know, like that type of shit. And it's
I mean,
just
there's like public or like media publicity versus like or like actual general interest.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
exactly,
And
yeah,
that's,
yeah,
that's what I'm
like,
saying. Is
that's-
like I just feel like the shit is so different. Like I feel like the film shit is just so like it's really about the art. Like I think that people really care about the art, and I think that since music has become just rap in general is the biggest genre. Like you can't say that it's not the biggest genre of music. Everybody listens to rap music now.
I think maybe it's just because like film, like it's such a big project, and not saying that music isn't, but like
It takes months to
Well, it takes
years.
that, but also it's just like there's the director, there's 20 different roles of like putting, or more than that, of putting the film together, and then like but at the end of the day, like with music, there's usually like this one figurehead that like you expect to have all the answers. That's like the like, and so people are just like, and you are the product, you are the film versus like, because like people will still talk shit about a film, but like give mad respect to the director or something. I don't know if that makes sense, but like,
I know what you're
or
saying.
like a film was shitty, like, or like Fantastic Four, was
like
a
Michael
shitty
Bay
movie.
shit or something.
But I'm not
like
gonna
that.
give Michael B. Jordan that flack because he didn't write all that shit. He was just a part of the movie.
Yeah,
exactly.
Instead of
saying.
like when like somebody puts out a shitty song, it's like, bro, that was you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like for the most part,
But
like
it might
maybe
not have
somebody
been.
wrote, but exactly. So somebody may have wrote that shit for them too. But like,
You know,
bro, for the
label
most part, that
decision
was
or
you.
this.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah, I kind of like when it comes to like the popular top interview like radio shows, I lose interest when I hear like the actual people that are like hosting it say they'll have an artist and they'll say like I've never listened to this artist's song, like I haven't checked out any of his music, and not gonna drop names, but this is actually like happened like on radio, like watching like on
definitely talk about the Breakfast Club. I feel you.
I mean,
I mean, real shit,
I know exactly what you're talking
exactly.
about,
Like, I'm sorry, I've never listened to your. What do you mean you've never listened to someone's album that you have on the show that you're interviewing
But they
for
got to
an
do
hour?
that shit daily though. And
That is tough. That is tough.
I will say
but they're also
something.
on the trains or whatever else in New York where you
yeah,
have
like,
you
I-
have an
I-
hour to kill.
I will
Exactly.
say,
Like, come on, bro. Yeah, like y'all
You
get
ain't
paid.
lying.
How much?
It's on 2 minutes
Y'all
long.
get paid
It's
to listen to
so
music.
crazy.
and
You
talk
ain't
to people?
fucking like, and I will
So
say, I
crazy.
will. I'm a. With you saying the film thing and you saying that, like, and just how like I guess interviews are regarded in both art forms, I will look at Zane Lowe's shit differently. He has to be a respected person to get the art. I mean, he gets the biggest of big artists. Like,
I mean, it's
But-
he is through Apple Music though, so it's like
That's the
it's
thing,
almost
and it's like
a
it-
required. It's a required thing to do now.
like I
Like
said,
it's
it's
just
the
the
biggest streaming
steps,
shit too.
the press tour. It's just the things you know,
Yeah, it's like
the machine.
I remember I used to like geek. Like I feel like that's kind of the one, and I don't want to make this a Kanye conversation because we could literally go on forever about this man. I don't want to make this conversation about Kanye, but
We was heading there anyway.
Yeah,
look.
but-
like drop the ball and shoot.
I just find it crazy that like I don't whenever people talk to him about I never hear. I remember I used to hear him like geek out about like yo, I had to make the stronger beat. Like we had to make the drums like. I had to get Timberland to do the drums.
How much he edited that fucking song.
How many times he
Yeah.
edited the song, and I used to like geek out and shit like that. And I never hear like that's the one thing about like me being a fan of Kanye that I never hear that from him anymore. Like it's like I want to know is the joy from music still there as far as
Did y'all see the Andre 3000 thing?
having people?
Is that out yet?
It's a 53-second clip. I listened
Yeah,
to.
it's-
the clip I heard.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's with the broken record with the
Rick
Rick
Rubin.
Rubin.
Yeah.
I keep seeing the picture, but I won't see the thing. I will say something about Kanye. I think right now, he's more focused on his clothing. Because I watched the interview of him talking about clothing,
Oh, bro,
and there was that passion that you
Yeah,
talking
for
about, bro. He
sure.
was just like, yeah, man, like I had to do this, and I had to go meet this guy, I had to talk to this person, and I think that's why Yeezus is such a good, like Yeezus. I think I'm talking about. I think that's why Yeezus was his last. I think that's where fashion and his music were at the same point of his interest.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because like think about it, bro. He was very frustrated at that time. Me and T. Rod saw him in Nashville.
Yeah, that was legendary.
I saw him in Chicago.
Yo, was
He
that
did
when he
some
was like
Chicago
popping off
music.
with the rants?
Oh, bro, we
Was
definitely
that
saw
rant
rant,
time?
bro.
Yo, that's lovely.
that was peak rant.
That was the
Fire.
start of the rant.
But those were like the good rants. Now it was just like,
wait. But we can predate those rants too to when he had like the Kanye University.
Yeah,
blog.
because he was doing that on
Yeah.
blogs.
He used to do that shit. Like he used to
Yeah.
I mean, I was
all
deep on
caps,
go crazy.
I was
Yeah.
on Kanye University
Kanye
all the time, but I
University.
was never reading what Kanye wrote. I was just
Yeah.
looking at.
I mean,
Looking at
that's
the
that's
stuff.
the
He like
things.
post up. I like this.
I
track.
was looking
You know
at
what I mean?
everything he was
Furniture.
posting. I was
Yeah,
never
it's
looking
like
at
the
any of his
furniture
actual
shit,
words.
the music. I mean, that was like, another introduction. I would like literally sneak out of class, like, you know, when I was in high school, bro, just because he was updating that shit all the time. Like, you know, you pop up at like, you know, 12 o'clock, he's got some kind of content. Then when I get out of school or get out of basketball practice at like 5, I get back on there. He's got some more shit.
I mean, he posted one of the buildings that was supposed to get built in Louisville, the Museum Plaza.
Bro, you
I love
wanted
that
that
building.
spot. Frank's
Bro,
talked about that for a while.
I always loved that building.
The
'Cause it was
Museum
just like
Plaza.
I was like, bro, that shit would have like launched our city literally
Yeah.
into like the world,
Yeah.
and it was just like this one like thing that was supposed to get made, and just like
Just
shout out to
there.
2007.
I'll say one.
Oh,
I think one of my
yes.
gripes on Louisville is I don't think that they focus on arts as far as like shit that we would think was dope.
Yeah,
Maybe
What do you think? What do you
Well,
think, Frank?
I mean I think the city is like segregated,
As
heavily.
fuck.
and not just culturally, but like in so many different ways that like right now there's 17,000 kids from 18 to 24 that are don't have jobs or are in school,
Yeah.
and there's
so they just wrecking havoc.
well, they're not wreaking havoc. They're just they don't have anything to do, like
Yeah.
because like they
Yeah.
can't. Nobody can afford going to universities.
Well, then the Boys and Girls Clubs are getting shut down too.
that too,
Yeah.
but like these are people that are now young adults. They're
Oh,
not,
you talking about
these are
like
18 to 24.
Okay,
These are
bet,
these are
bet.
people our age or
Yeah.
close enough that are not actually like
Actively doing it.
actively, and they can find internships that don't pay at like
Yeah.
retail stores, or they
Yeah.
can find a job at Amazon, and they can't. It takes an hour to get there, and then their feet are like dead by the end.
you get back to the
Kentucky's
crib.
industrial.
Like
You know,
it
it'll
is,
always
but
be
it isn't.
industrial.
Like it's very like Rust Belty right now.
Yeah,
And
and
so
I-
it's like
industrial.
I think
just
we're
like-
in just such a weird phase of just like, and I think now, I mean, like even me, I remember like DJing at the Moxie Hotel, and like, people didn't even know who I was, but they were just coming in there because it's like, oh shit, this nigga playing like good shit, because they can hear the shit outside. And I was like, you think about places like New York and Chicago, like shout out to our homie Syra up in Chicago, like, fucking
Veda.
I said Syra, Veda. I'm so sorry. Shout out to Veda up in Chicago. I get them mixed up all the time. I'm so sorry to both of you all, but
They're both
shout out
beautiful.
to exactly
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what it is. But and they're both very
Shouts.
talented as well too. But shout out to Veda in Chicago. She was just she was in New York, just
was
DJing
in
on
New
a
York.
fucking like hotel rooftop. Like, why can't we do that at the Omni?
That's
Me and Coop, and I'm gonna speak this as existent. Me and Coop have been like, we're trying to figure that shit out. And that's why I like doing shit
No,
with
and
my I'm
and-
like, bro, I'm trying to do like dope shit like that.
And we,
feel me?
you know, like, and you know, a lot of times it's just like almost like you have to force your way into those
Yeah.
situations to where like it's, you know, nobody's really gonna seek you out unless you're like, yo, I'm gonna do this and this is what's gonna happen. And I think, and what I was saying is like, so there's 17,000 kids not working or doing
Mhm.
whatever, but I think that's why a lot of us have turned to music and art because
yeah.
all we have are our phones, Instagram, and nothing else to do besides like
Yeah.
look at stuff. So like it is
Yeah.
it is a time for like cultural innovation
Yeah.
in this space because there is a lot of like bored like
bored
individuals. Like I mean, it's like crime and art are things that happen from places like that. So
Dude,
Crime and
I always-
art.
I always say like,
Like, you know, like-
the wild thing, and maybe I would have found my way if I think if I would have met Frank in high school, I don't know if I'd be who I am now as far as just like being so into art and just different shit. 'Cause I mean, I guess he put me on to recording music, but then now I DJ, we getting a podcast together, nigga be
Playing with
fucking
that
on Photoshop.
Photoshop.
You know what I mean? Like I'm saying, like
layers.
I'm telling you, bro, like it's all type of different shit that I'm like, and then even like us as kids going down to Nulu and going to every first Friday and checking out Gallery House, bro, to where now when we have our shit or whatnot, we make sure to have at least drinks there when we host stuff at 2026 Trap House or whatnot. That you know what I mean? Even with Taylor like having his release party over there, like
Yes.
that was sick.
That was sick, yo.
Hey, yo, thank you, by the way.
No,
Oh,
thank
yeah,
you,
that
bro,
was
because
nice.
it
That
felt
was a
it felt
wonderful
good. Because like
night.
first off, Taylor's always been family to us, like always, and then fucking like just to be like we hosted that, and the you know what I mean, like he came to the crib, I DJ'd, Frankie put together a thing, And bro, we was just having like that. I had that fucking moment that Kanye had with Pusha T where I was lit as a bitch. I said, you motherfuckers, hey, bro, like I was so lit.
Somebody put that on
And
there.
that's what I-
Their
That's what I think it's so
that moment.
so crazy because a lot of people think like having an event is like unaccessible. Sure, we have a space, but like I feel like everybody like we now I've been going to the Soulful Sundays too, and they almost did a very similar thing in Indiana. We're just like having a space in their crib. Like you can move all your furniture out of your crib.
I say, and they gave me credit because all those dudes met at the backyard parties I was throwing.
Yeah.
And they was just like, bro, like they showed. Shout out to Soulful
Who
Sundays.
started that? They met at the backyard party.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
And he was like, yo, like when I went to one of them, he said,
I mean,
yo,
they said the next one they want to do, they want us to be a part of it.
yeah,
They wanna
bro,
charge.
like it's yeah.
Yeah,
So, and I've been putting. I
Break
just don't
bread.
think people get how accessible it is to do. And
So
that
it's like
too.
you just have, and we were just telling them, you just have to do it because they originally met us at like just in the spring, us DJing at
Well, they
Galaxy or
they met me
Raven.
through Will because they like my music.
Oh,
So
yeah.
they met. They was working at Kroger at Shots of Bonds. They met at Kroger. They met Will at Kroger,
Okay, yeah.
and it was just like, oh yeah, like and then so they would see me fucking like DJing place, and they show mad. Shout out to the Twins 502. I'll tag them and some shit. But yeah, those are the homies. I mean, cause and so like with them doing the Soulful Sundays, like, and I remember them being like, oh yeah, like I honestly, I've seen niggas around this city, bro, and it pisses me off when somebody does some shit similar to theirs or whatnot. They hate.
Yeah.
I was happy, bro.
Oh no, I mean they still.
That's everything, and then they show,
Yeah.
bro. That's everything because all it's doing is just fucking opening up shit, bro.
And there's like 80. Their whole crowd is completely different than like,
completely different
there's
artists,
maybe
bro.
like
I can
five
imagine.
or
I
six
can
different
imagine.
people that like
Yeah.
like there's a bunch of first time
They
people
bring
that I
hella,
met.
and them niggas
I
cook
sold
too,
like
boy.
4 or 5. I sold like 4 or 5 shirts out the trunk the last Soulful Sunday. So
Yeah.
it's like
That's kind of like how, like, I mean, Chris and I, like, along with the Angel Us radio shit, like, we have our own kind of, like, thing we're kind of moving with. It's, like, 1 minute to go. And, you know, we're wanting to kind of get into, like, doing the party scene and shit and, like, you know, figuring out, like, the DJ shit. Just to even have,
I mean,
like,
you're already starting. You're already like laying your
yeah, there's
groundwork.
there's no like competition. Like we just want to have fun, bro. We just want to
Yes.
we just want to have like just good parties and like just, you know, as you guys throwing the shit at sides or whatever, like it's just like just making moments.
And we
for
try to
people,
stay tapped
you know
in
what
with
I'm
when
saying?
people are throwing things, so people don't feel like inconvenienced or like competitive.
Yeah,
to
You
man.
can
where-
always add like, and that's why I
Yeah,
tell,
yeah.
and that's why I told Soulful Sunday. I said, bro, I said I would DJ for free at that shit, bro. I was like, I'm not tripping about like when it's shit like this, just like building culture and having like my little brother, little homies looking up to shit, and then they want to do that shit eventually, bro. That's only gonna make the city, and
that's
then that's gonna
priceless.
make those like when I go to the Omni and I can tell them I work with these corporations and shit like that off of just like starting that side and finds, bro. Shout out to Alex at Side and Finds, bro, because he always looked out for me and Frank. You know what I mean?
Since
Like
2015.
literally. So it's just like, bro, like that's what it's about, bro. Like that's why, bro. I'm happy with how shit is going in Louisville. And me and Taylor were talking about this in the car beforehand. It is about branching out too, though. Like Louisville's beautiful and everything, but it is about us taking that leap. I mean, Frank's been on the road since fucking forever, since he was in high school, going back and forth from New York and just doing different shit. You know what I mean? It is us taking our talents, going other places. If that's moving there, or if that's just like going up to Chicago one weekend and trying to get some little fucking house party gig or
Yeah.
whatever, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we was talking, like we really spread out. That's real. You know what I mean? 'Cause that's stuff that I've been thinking about recently.
We were booked the 29th of February in Chicago.
So yeah,
That was
hopefully-
that's kind of the one thing that
hopefully that still goes on.
No, that's already
Okay,
booked.
so that's really going. Okay, cool. Bet.
That's going on for sure.
that's one of the things I really fuck with Tremaine a lot. Like I remember
Jermaine Emery.
listening to him talk about, you know, how him and A-Side kind of started the No Vegasy shit, and like the whole idea behind it is it being like a hotel on wheels, you know what I'm saying? Like them being able to like take that, like the moment that they have and just set it up like wherever. Like it could be at a Stussy, like, you know, tri party, or it could be at, you know, fucking Chateau Marmont, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just like being able to like, you know, bring that moment wherever, you know, wherever it's needed, you know what I'm saying? Like to you know, I'm obviously they're doing things that like, you know, massive scale.
Yeah, but
now,
they
you know what I'm saying?
started
They
somewhere though.
yeah,
Like
for sure.
yeah,
Like,
like
Soon,
everyone
bro.
just
started.
doing shit like
yeah.
deep shit in like London and like, you know, all that shit, like, so, and just being able to like kind of lay that groundwork, man. That's everything that we're trying to, you know, I don't want to say try. I hate using words like that.
That's what we
I wanna-
doing,
That's
bro.
what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like just just doing those things. Just having fun. But that's the one thing I want to do with everything that I do, whether it's making music or else if I'm not having fun doing this shit.
Oh,
bro,
God.
it's no point.
it's
Like I don't
bad.
ever like. There's never gonna be a point for me like to where I'm just gonna be like where this is a job. Just because I love the creative part of all of it. Like
It's fun.
I love making a bad song. You know what I'm saying? Like I love the idea of making a bad song because you're never gonna get to that good song if you don't make the bad one.
Ooh, boy,
You know
oh
what I'm
God.
saying?
Because
Like, you
nigga,
have to make the bad song to get to that good song. And that's kind of the one thing that like I always said that like I would ask Frank Ocean. I'm just like, bro, do you ever make like that? Like, and I'm sure he does.
No, I want to hear those bad
That's what I'm
songs.
saying. I want to
bad
hear.
songs.
I would love to
Yeah.
hear the bad.
I want to
songs,
hear those
you know what I'm
bad
saying?
songs.
Like,
We
but,
practice
I
with
mean,
nigga, shit's
I mean,
crazy.
back in the Lonnie Bro
That's what I'm-
collection, not all
that's
those
what I'm
were-
saying.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I heard some.
Yeah,
I heard
I
it had some
That's-
misses.
that's the idea.
Misses, yeah. Hey, bro,
That's kind of the
listen.
one thing that kind of had to get out of my way as far as like, because I mean, even with me kind of releasing things now, like it's just it took me a while to just kind of because I there for a minute like, and what's so crazy is like I, as particular as I am about certain things, like I hate the idea of things being perfect. Like even though I would like, I mean, there's when I listen to
It's not real.
when I listen to Fish, there's obviously things that I hear now that I'm like, okay, I wish we could have like went back and changed this. Like there's like a moment on Neptune where I or just the transition from Neptune to Barracuda I wish would have been better. But like but now but it's just like those are the moments that you can capitalize on with your next
Or it just makes that
Dang.
project unique in its way.
yeah, and it just makes it unique.
Mhm.
And I'm just thinking about like my my discography, like eventually, you know what I'm saying, being able to like I want my shit to be like, I mean, you look at like Stevie Wonder's shit, and it's like vast,
Wait,
bro. Like
I have one
He makes
question.
everything, bro.
Yeah.
So why'd you drop Rogers from your name? Because I like because
Well,
because
now,
like so
I mean-
because you were Taylor and I just like yo this is the hardest thing to search on like
yeah, and like
on
that.
like Taylor Swift like
Yeah,
so
exactly.
like you like
I
automatically
have to get I have to get my clout, I guess is what they say these days, up as far as like just releasing more things to counteract
Just be
that.
Taylor.
But
Yeah.
the reason why I just kind of went, and I mean, it's kind of, I guess it can be both, like whatever. I feel like Pharrell and Pharrell Williams are kind of like the same.
Yeah.
same
Okay.
type of
That is
thing.
facts. Yeah,
But,
that
like,
is true.
I just,
Yeah.
but I do,
Yeah.
but as far as, I mean, now you got like Jack Harlow, Bryson Tiller.
yeah
I didn't want to like, I did that prior to
Yeah.
even kind of figuring out, just because I think Taylor just sounds.
I mean it sounds great.
Yeah, it
I just
sounds
was like
easier just
I
to
feel
say-
like not marketing wise but just like
Oh,
searchability
searchability,
SEO
yeah.
wise,
That's kind of
yo,
one
like,
thing.
let's,
People
the
have been hitting
algorithm
me
Get
up.
my man's up.
Just like,
Like,
yo, I
it's-
can't find like the
But
music on like Spotify or like whatever, and I just been having to tell people to,
Link
like,
in bio.
that, and then like
I just
I've been having to tell people
Taylor.
I just been having to tell people just like search a song name and then like
Yeah.
do it
I,
that way.
I mean,
Like,
honestly, and I will say, maybe you did this on purpose. It kind of just makes
makes
you
it
find
more-
it better.
makes
You know what I
makes
mean?
it
Like,
more-
so
yeah,
fucking-
somebody
it's a
else
witch hunt,
told me
you know
that.
what
They
I
were
mean?
like, yeah, it's kind of like the hunt of like finding your music is
Yeah.
actually like.
I mean,
Great.
people. It is interesting
Yeah.
because people still like. I'll post somebody's music that I'm working on, and like their like name is so like normal that it's like hard to find
Yeah,
their
yeah.
stuff. And like,
Yeah, nah, that'll be fixed, in due time. So, I'm
clout
definitely-
points coming up.
Clout
Yeah.
points, yeah.
Definitely.
Where do you
trying
buy
to-
them?
Yeah, clout in bio.
Clout.
I guess it's like yo, like, but yeah, nah, I'm just, bro, I'm just, I'm feeling good, bro. It's
there-
just about life and shit.
Is there anything
bro.
else you guys want to add?
I mean, yo, just tune in, bro. Like
4 to 5 on Mondays.
4 to 5 on Monday. Just,
Monday.
I mean,
Coming
just
soon.
to tap in and see like what I want more than anything. Obviously, branching out and trying to get fans is like I want people to, just buy into the exclusivity of like kind of what we represent. Like Anti-Public is like it's about exclusivity and like taste. Like it's not. I'm not saying that we're anti anything, but it's just we're just us. Like it's just what we kind of move a little differently on this side, and like we're on like that other side of cancel culture. If you want to come, you know, like if you want to come,
what do you
like
mean by that?
I mean, like you just think of like I mean, everybody is just so kind of like safe. Like it's safe.
Yeah.
Like the world that you know people kind of live in, especially like creatives and shit. It's really hard to just kind of just be like to say whatever the fuck you want because it's like, and I get the fact you can't just say anything because it's like you don't want to be like a dick, but it's just like there's a point where it's like, you know, art is your safe place to kind of be like, you know, you're the asshole version of yourself. If that's what you really want to be, like. And like I said again, I'm not trying to make it seem like it's, you know, well, being bad to people in general is just whack. Like, I mean, that's just obvious.
It was interesting because like when I did my final show at U of L, like I had a piece that had two of my friends in it, and I was like criticized for like having a black guy and a white girl and like a picture together and a Playboy bunny in it, and they were just like not.
What
and
does that mean?
Yeah.
Well,
they didn't understand like all the symbolism in it. Like I had like specific meanings behind it, but they were like, okay, well, you're like propagating this misogynistic culture, and I was just like, why are you like trying to cancel like this piece when it is like
Frank's just showing what's happening.
I'm like literally documenting exactly like the realities of our situation. And so I was like, and like people I'm around and like what it was going on, and I'm like, okay, this isn't like at all like expletive. I mean, there was no nudity. There's nothing like it was literally like two people in a picture.
It's there.
And so I was, and like you could think of it however you wanted to, and like it was and like there was things in there that you had to like unearth, and like there's audio and you could listen to it, but like if somebody really is just like looking at the book and not like diving deep into the book, then they're like,
yeah, and that's something that like I'm really huge on like details and like just researching things in general. Like I geek out about, you know, if I find out like like how I think Chris stated earlier that like, yo, I'm still learning about shit, bro. I'm always learning. Like that's the one thing about like, as I have a love-hate relationship with like social media. Like it's like I love it for the fact of like that you can discover some shit in like a couple seconds. You know what I'm saying? Like but the thing of it is I feel like people now just will kind of discover something, but they won't dive and be like, yo, who's behind it? Like, yo, what, like, you know, what were they doing prior to that? Like, cause
they're just tapping into that Alibaba remake of
Bro, it's just like, yo, like, and like you talk to people and it's just like mad, like surface level of like, you know, somebody's like, oh shit, yo, like, you know, whatever, this Kim Jones Stussy collab, and it's just like,
I know, I know exactly,
but like nobody will like go back and like, you know.
That's what I think is like really funny about like the fascination of like Off-White, but like everybody was really quick to disown Ben Trill when it's the same brand. It's not. It's the exact same aesthetic.
Well, he literally had changed the name.
And then they made 3 brands from it. They made Alix.
To Rocky for that, like he literally canceled all that.
He canceled it, but then they it was like they cut off the head and 3 heads grew back. Then it became Alix, Heron, and Off-White.
Yeah, bro, and this is way bigger than ever now.
Yeah,
exactly.
So, God, it was like they canceled one of the 3 dudes brands, and then
hold on, did Rocky cancel that? I mean, I think it was
fuck Ben Trill, we off that.
Shit, he did.
Can you keep that?
Yeah, because I know him and Hit by Air, they like fell out on some shit.
Well, it's because I mean, Hood by Air was like, and Hood by Air apparently, I don't know if you listened to the Shane Oliver interview, but like,
talking about
with
Curly, but
remember he was talking about how basically that was only supposed to be like 20 shirts, and Virgil made like thousands of them.
Yeah,
and like
that's the thing, bro. Like niggas don't even know. Like people talk about Virgil, but they don't even know that he worked for like Hood by Air. Like they don't know. People don't know that shit.
People
it's
don't
just
know
like,
Virgil at all.
And I'm the type of person.
I mean, it's like me. We're all work for anybody. That's
and that's the niggas. I'm the type of person that's like, I'm not gonna tell people that. Like I just would like. Rather somebody like just
anybody that's tight.
Exactly.
Have
a conversation. That's the thing.
Good.
Like me personally, like whenever like topics of like fashion and like all that type of shit come up, like it's almost like so because we've really been on that shit for so long. It's like, bro, it's like it's old news. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like it's because it's like secondhand for us to like to know about these things, and I don't even think we go out of our way to figure out about these things. Just like they naturally gravitate towards us, just because like it's just an interest that we've always had. Like it's not something that we've just overnight and just been like, oh shit, we really fuck with this shit. Like
Yeah, and
This
I don't know if that makes it like bougie or
Fucking hipsters.
Well, nowadays.
I don't even think it's that. It's just like,
Yeah.
man, like
But in a way, there is a different. There is a
It
bouginess
is.
to it.
yeah, for
I
sure.
mean, why do you think
it
I
is.
got these expensive candles?
But I'll say that that's crazy because like even now, like I don't know, just like certain pieces, I'm like, bro, like it's just too loud for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like I don't want, and I hate, and I'm about to sound like the biggest dickhead right now, but I feel like I'm like I don't want the Simps to know, or like the normies to know. Like you remember fucking Rocket Power was the Shoebies, bro. You know what I mean? These niggas that come to the beach like once a year. You're like, who the fuck are y'all, bro? You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't want to get mixed in with that shit at all. So for the longest, I just like almost kind of disown streetwear and like that whole culture for a minute because I didn't want to like,
but
you know.
you basically just instead tapped in with whatever I make and just rock it.
Yeah, but look at me right now,
Yeah.
2026, no nothing right now.
Like-
Dead ass.
Because I mean, I make so many clothes that like there's no reason that like we wouldn't be decked out in our own stuff. Like
Somebody
almost
asked me the other day.
24/7.
I had like I was just like head to toe in what Frank designed for either our brand or fucking Know Nothing. And this girl, she's like, oh look, I'm like, bitch, I'm trying to sell my shit. Like the fuck, you know what I mean? Like, what? Like you see Tyler and all these niggas, bro. I always love how he wore nothing but
it's
golf,
also,
bro.
But it's also we're not even trying to
Facts.
sell it. We wouldn't legitimately make it unless we were gonna
Only
wear
rock
it.
shit that we
Yeah,
wear,
like
bro.
this shit,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, the whole trucker hat thing came from like the NERD hat
Yeah.
kind of mock up that he made. That from fucking like us just being fans of fucking Pharrell and you know what the Neptunes and all that shit did. So I was just like, why wouldn't be like it always tripped me out when I saw dudes who have brands and they don't wear that shit.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, bro, you don't like your
That's-
shit, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like a
I mean, it's very.
yeah.
And then I don't really get like where like they are in their mind if they're just like if they're making it. I mean, it's just the same that goes right back into the point of like somebody making music that doesn't listen to
Yeah,
music
bro,
or
literally.
like
That's
it's almost the exact same thing. I mean, the
Literally.
same
Yeah.
feeling I get from
Insanity.
like that. It's like, all right, what's the point?
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's fucking
What's the
wild,
point?
bro. But yo, I mean,
All right, is that it?
All right,
it's
well,
good fucking
fuck,
content.
I
man.
thank y'all for coming through, man. Thank you, Taylor, for like basically reminding me about this shit because we had been planning it and stuff, but I just wanted to get it right. But
You need to go grab the Polaroid camera and get us.
yeah, we
photo
definitely do
together.
that. But thank you all for coming through, man. Y'all check out Angela's radio every Monday from 4 to 5 p.m. Y'all check out Fish by
On
Taylor.
97.1 or WXOX
Yeah,
app.
yeah, download the app, man. You
The
can
app
listen
is
to
really
it,
cool.
Like wherever, man. Like so.
And we'll
just-
put that in the info and whatnot. And then y'all make sure to come out to DJ Dixie Howie's birthday at Kaiju, December 28th.
And
T. Raj will be there, aka Taylor. I call him T.
special
Raj.
performance.
We also have
Special performance
a lookbook party on the 27th.
for Know Nothing. So y'all come to that as well
so
too.
we're gonna be basically live shooting the lookbook with all the attendees of the party. Basically, like
I've
an
never heard of that
interactive.
shit. I've never heard of that shit, dog.
I mean,
so.
it's my own concept of like knocking two birds out with one stone.
Look at that
We're,
shit.
we're getting crunk and having fun. Because we're always shooting photos at the parties.
Just the ring.
Exactly.
Why not like dress people into stuff right then and like just make it the lookbook and like
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, that's hard. It's
Good ideas.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean I watched the
Difference.
what's it called, the Ralph documentary on HBO the other day.
Very right.
I need to watch that shit.
Yes.
that's
It's
good.
fucking
That's
great, bro.
yes.
But like they were just talking about how he basically was doing his like fashion shows at his like
And he just,
showroom
like,
crib
yeah.
spot and like was very homey and then it's definitely like I was like damn, Ralph
It's-
Lauren, like
I mean,
I'm on
that's
that-
why
I'm
it's
yeah,
still,
tapping
that's,
on that
that's
level
why he
where
stood the
it's
test of
like-
time. You can rock Ralph at any point.
But just like
It's
his
never-
little pockets of like his
Mhm.
like cowboy or
Yeah.
whatever, like these little ideas and themes and like loving film, and I'm like every time anybody interviewed me, I was like, and I've like never really like looked into Ralph that much, but I'd be like, I like looking at the movies and like making stuff. Not, I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't look like the movies, like the stuff in the movies at all, because it's still stuff that we're wearing.
Yeah, but just the inspiration.
Yeah,
inspiration,
like,
so, yeah.
the
Pulling
inspiration,
from-
like pulling like those. I mean, from the documentary, like he would look at those old ass like films and like he wanted to make. I mean, ties that
Yeah.
he didn't see the ties that he's seen in this film, so he decided to make them. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that's ill, man. Like,
Insanity.
it's just
Shout out to making money off of shit you love to do, bro.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
and,
man.
and like dude seemed really down to earth. Like it was just like he doesn't even like. I don't know. I'm really not I'm maybe the most social, non-social person.
No, he definitely no, because Frank does not like if you talk to him about his shit and it's on camera, he just shuts down, bro. He's like, nah, man, I'm cool, bro. I'm like, come on, man. Like, hey, we went to Nashville.
You see this coat?
Nigga, if he got the Fendi on him, look. Well, fucking, that's how it goes. Hey, thank you all for listening. We're gonna continue this 2026 podcast and just shed light on creativity and everything else in between. Much love, people.
Anti-public, we out.
Woo.